Today's video is about sales reports in QBO, more specifically class reports in QBO. So when are reports by class useful? Well, they're useful for tracking sales of multiple types of services that you might provide, or multiple types of divisions you have, or multiple regions, or multiple product types, or any type of segregated reporting information you want to achieve. But one very key thing is that, like almost any other kind of reporting, in order to have good reports, so good output, you need good inputs. What I mean by that is that if we move backwards and we look at all the data entry, all that stuff needs to be entered correctly and needs to be tagged to a specific class. This is an example that we have in front of us of a sales by class report. So this company has 3 different types of classes. Actually, they have 2. One is one-time projects, another one is school. But that school class is further broken down into another 2 classes. So you can actually create subclasses. So they want to know, for training that they provide, how much money they generate from group training and how much they generate from individual training. And so when I was speaking or talking about inputs, what I mean is this total amount for the individual consulting of 172,000 is a result of individually doing all of these entries. So these are all inputs. So your report is going to be accurate if you properly class each and every sale. Okay, so like for instance, this invoice. If I open that one up, there's a column here called class. Okay, and this was correctly tagged as individual consulting. So that's a thing to keep in mind. Each and every invoice, each and every sale you generate needs to be tagged correctly. So now let's take a look, first of all, how to set up your class reporting. The way you set it up is by clicking the gear button, then under accounts and settings, then go to advanced, and then look for class. So that's under categories, track classes. Make sure this is on. If it's not, little pencil here. And you can also tick warn me when a transaction isn't assigned to a class, and you can select if you want the entire transaction or each individual row to go to a class. I'm selecting to each individual row because what if you have a situation where you have multiple rows on an invoice and each one of those are supposed to go to a separate class? My preference would be to have one to each row. Let's pretend now we want to create additional classes. So we'll see how that works. We'll click the gear. We go under all lists, and there's a section called classes right here. We'll click that. And these are the classes we have at the moment. So we're going to want to create a new one. We'll click new, and we'll call it whatever we want. So let's assume that we're creating a new class called company events. So this company is going to provide services for companies. They might have events where they have their employees taking part in some kind of activity where they're learning hockey, right? So we'll just call it company events. It could be whatever you want. And we can put it to a subclass. We won't use the subclass. Save. And now we have a class called company events. So if we create another invoice to whoever, we'll make it really huge again. Company events, that's the important piece of information. Save, disregard this, and go to my reports. So it's in my favorites, but if you scroll further down, you'll find it. So sales by class summary. Okay, so This ginormous amount, company events, is for the invoice we created. So that's class reporting. Very useful tool. That's the end of our video. Hopefully you found it useful, and if you did, please make sure to like and subscribe.